Hey all brothers and sisters, my name is Captain Meatshield and welcome back to Bobs and Angels Factorio. I think we need to start pushing towards plastic, which means we need to get busy with some petrochem stuff. Our supply of iron is being pushed to its limits at the moment with all of the military science that's being done. I'm going to have a quick look at the casting machines and everything while this bullet shooting speed research wraps up, which is going to be now. There we are. Ooh, these belts are starting to run down a bit. I'm not sure all of these casting machines are actually running. Are we getting enough iron through? Sort of. We're plugging in a full belt. Maybe we need to plug in a second. I don't think we've got the production for a second, but we also need to worry about the steel. So let's do something probably a little irresponsible. I think irresponsible is the word. But let's get... Have I got a four-way balancer coming out of here? I don't. Okay. How's the supply? Actually, the supply is doing pretty damn good. But we're definitely not going to be able to support a full 3 belts of iron on this. So let's just reverse that for the time being. Put in a 4-lane balancer. And we'll see how that helps things. We're going to get full throughput for the time being, but once this silo starts emptying out, which is going to do pretty bloody quickly, it's going to be a case of, ooh, that silo is going to need replacing soon. I'll come along and deal with that in due course, but let's just make sure that all of this is running in the right directions, along the right belts, not the wrong belts. Why would we want it running along the wrong belts? Yeah, that looks like it should head into the right spots, and then we'll plug this belt in here and activate those belts there. We'll get all of these blast furnaces running. Even if it's not maximum capacity, it's better than nothing, I think. It's going to be intermittent, but it'll be something. Okay. Research. We need to start looking into getting plastic on the belts of the bus. So we need to start looking into all of the stuff that we need. I've got gas and oil extraction. Why do I have that? Oh yeah, I needed flare stacks for stuff, didn't I? So for plastic 1, we need advanced chemistry. We also need gas processing and oil processing. Right. Those should be easy enough. I don't need anything like electrolysis or chemical processing, do I? No, I'm going to need those for the next science packs, I think. But for now, let's get oil processing, gas processing. Let's get all the things that we need for this first stage of things. Let's get the plastic out of the way first. I also want to see how this is going to work out. Yeah, okay, bots, get busy, I guess. We are also really running down our steel supply as well, so I think getting some iron back into all of this is going to help as well, because we are just going to run through all of our supplies otherwise. Okay, those belts are looking a little bit better. As long as it keeps the blast furnaces going, don't mind. Okay, these are starting to pump out a little more consistently, I think. Certainly looks it. And that is what matters. Let me check our copper supply up here. I want to know how well this is emptying out. Still 146,000 in here. Oh, I'm going to be emptying that out for days. Right, oil processing, gas processing. I do think that's making these belts look a little bit better for iron anyway. It seems a little more consistent, even if it's still kind of stop and start. Okay. Right. And advanced chemistry. I need that for plastic as well. So let's research that. Awesome. And plastic research. Is this still emptying? Yes. Ever so slightly. You know what? I don't think I care. Let me get rid of. Let me make a machine gun. Take that off. Actually, where's my chest full of crap that I don't want anymore? That's up by the boilers, the furnaces. Steam engines, those are the ones. And I also need to set up a chest and a box, chest and an inserter that's going to have ammunition in it. So I'm going to want to pick some up eventually, and I could probably do with picking up some now. And we'll stock 2 stacks, I think. But all I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to take a gun to this silo, and say goodbye to it, because I don't need it, I don't want it, it's loads of copper that I'm just taking ages to burn through, and I could be time better spent burning through the actual copper ore that I'm stockpiling. So be gone, foul demon. I do not care if it's waste. It is waste that I don't care about. Obviously. Right. Now, we need to figure out how we make plastic. What machines do we need for that? So, plastic. Plastic bar. We need methane and chlorine. And we need to make that in chemical plants. Okay. Let's get the things that we need to make all of these machines. So we could go with a regular chemical plant, or we could get the advanced chemical plant. Let's grab some stone bricks so that we can make that one. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong recipe. This is not the recipe that I've worked with before. Plastic... There we are. What was it on... I don't know what I was looking at last time. Right, yeah. We need to make this in assembling machines. That's how I've been making it before. Okay. So, the way this works, we go... like this. Lots of different machines that we need. Do I have pipes being made? I'm going to need a lot of pipes. I don't seem to have pipes being made. I'll have to sort that out on my little kind of build everything platform. In fact, I should probably set that up now, because I'm going to need pipes. How do I have so many piped grounds? Am I sure I don't have pipes being made somewhere? Because I've got an awful lot of them. I don't see them anywhere, so I'm going to set up some pipe production just to get things underway. Give us a little bit of help. No wonder I can't find the recipe that I'm looking for in these machines. I need another machine in order to make all this, or make half of this stuff. I need steam cracking. I thought I was missing a bit of equipment. Okay. I think I've got the chain of production as far as just the machines themselves go. So we have our final product here. This is liquid, or this is plastic made from liquid plastic. Liquid plastic is made in advanced chemical plants from propene gas. Propene is made from methanol and steam, and that also gives residual gas as a byproduct. Methanol gas, along with more residual gas, is produced with methane and steam, or methane and steam, however your pronunciation. I always flip between the two of them. We get methane ethane, and butane through gas fractioning of natural gas liquids. So this is similar to the oil separation that we do in vanilla, like kind of light, heavy, and petroleum, or heavy, medium, heavy, light oil and petroleum gas. So it's kind of equivalent to that. Methane is the petroleum gas of this, kind of. But natural gas liquids we get through another gas refinery that separates raw gas into acid gas and NGL, the natural gas liquids. And then we have an oil and gas separator, which separates natural gas into raw gas, condensates, and sulfuric wastewater. And this is the input for what we pull up out of the ground. You can see why this is a ball ache, can't you? Right, I don't know how much I'm going to try to get out of this system. We've got some natural gas patches up here, so we do need to make some pump jacks. What am I missing? I'm missing iron for that. Good job on buying the iron belts. So I'm going to get some storage tanks, and we're just going to start pumping the natural gas out of the ground and storing it for the time being. Okay. There we go. Natural gas. Going into storage. Fantastic. Where the fuck do we go from here? That is the big question. First, I'm going to clear out some space up here. And I'm just going to fucking bash some stuff together until we get the products that we need. I'm also going to turn off this loop. Try and wind down some of the crushed stone storage that we've got. We're getting through all of the slag that we built up, but I don't know. I'm just kind of making a mess out of everything. Oh, this might be a bit of an awkward place to put things because of the bus that's going to be coming from the depot. This is fine, I'll manage. Like I said, this is going to be a slapdash setup. What's most likely going to happen from this is I'm thinking of having all of the petrochem stuff be off-site and just have all of the products that are needed for the bus brought in on trains, because that might just make things a bit easier. This is going to be a ball ache enough as it is, so if I can make it easier on myself, I'm going to try. Right, first off, we want the oil and gas separators. I don't know how many of these I can support, but I'm going to build 4 and see how we go from there. Can you fix this thing up, please? Well, my nanobots are just useless. Okay, so we want to separate natural gas into raw gas. Oh no, yes? Raw gas is what the refineries are going to take. Yes. Okay. This is going to involve a lot of running back and forth and just kind of cobbling things together. I'm also going to need more storage tanks for any leftover stuff. I'm going to need more iron plate. And probably more stone bricks for a lot of things. Okay, so far, so good. We have gas condensates and sulfuric wastewater. Sulfuric wastewater we're going to want to keep hold of. That's, well, I mean, we're going to be producing it infinitely, I think, but we can use that for making sulfuric acid, which we can then use for getting into the infinite sapphirite patches. So that's stage 1 done. Now we need gas refineries, and they need to be taking the natural gas, which we have conveniently lined up in such a way, or the raw gas, I should say, conveniently lined up here to match up with the inputs, but I'm going to give them all an extra kind of redundant connection just to make sure that the flow stays as even as possible. My head is going to start hurting throughout all of this, I reckon. Right, this only has 2 outputs, so that's not so bad. So we'll just bring those out an extra one, just for the sake of distance. And kind of keeping things kind of, you know, on the same page. You know, good to have layouts kind of make sense. Sort of. What am I on about? I don't fucking know anymore. But we need another tank for the acid gas. I can go there. And then we take the natural gas liquids and they go into a refinery. Ugh. What a mess. But they get split out then into methane, ethane and butane. Now the problem with petrochem is that a lot of these symbols all look very similar. Like, these ones all have like the one black stripe, the two little white ones. It's the little kind of molecule that makes the difference. I think it's the kind of least kind of, I don't even know what you'd say about that. The least thing of them is the methane. Yes. Okay. So that one we want to take on to the next stage. The rest of these are all going to go into storage. We'll sort out some sort of overflow and burn off with flare stacks, just to keep a control on our production. Okay, and from there, I think we go on to the steam crackers. Let's go and have a look at the template. Steam cracker taking methane and steam. Okay. Need to be able to produce steam somehow. Let's get a few steam crackers. Let's get up to 4, I guess. We'll just stick with the 4 for now. It's not going to, the production's not going to maintain it. Okay, is there any nearby water? That's something I hadn't considered with this. I might have to just pipe some in from over by the steam generators. And what would make this easier would be electric boilers. I need to get oil steam cracking for that, so we'll research that. And I'll start pumping some water out of that little lake, and we'll research the electric boiler, and then we'll get those doing their thing. Let's get some termites to just tear up some of this stuff. Could you please? Yeah. Get rid of it. Thank you. I'm going to put down a couple of pumps, just so that we can get, like, extra flow control or something, I don't know. Right. Just had to go and power on all of those pumps. But we should have water flowing. That should be going into this electric boiler and providing steam. Fingers crossed. Hope I've powered on all of the pumps. I think I have. All of these machines are fired up again, so you are producing steam. Good. Yeah. Right, now we need some storage for the residual gas. And I should also start the production of some underground pipes as well. Now, the residual gas we're going to get from this stage and the next one. If I'm correct, if I remember right. So we are going to want to make sure that we got a good amount of storage for this stuff. I don't know what it's actually used for. Residual gas. What are you an ingredient in? Petroleum jelly. Lubricant. Ah, right, okay. Along with base mineral oil. Synthesis gas. Don't know what the hell that's used for. Yeah, there's lots of various different recipes that are all going to use ridiculous ingredients. Right, the next stage is taking the methanol that we're producing here and turning that into propane. And again, we need a electric boiler, and then to output these bits. I'm going to set up one there because I've got another steam cracker that's further down. Actually, I may as well just make one. I'm going to be needing loads more of these things as time goes on. It is going to be ridiculous. But what we'll do is we'll take the residual gas from here, we'll plug up these pipes together, and then we're going to bring this over this way just to barrel into the same the same tank. And you're now backed up on propane. Okay, you can snugly fit there, so we can get rid of this. We're just about to encroach on all this stuff, but we should be fine from here. Right, advanced chemical plants. I think... Is that producing propane? That's producing methanol. Where do I go from... I'll go and check the spreadsheet. Told you I'd need more of these steam crackers. Right, synthesis propane. Oh no, I have propane. That's the last stage that I did. For fuck's sake. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, well then we take the advanced chemical plants and we turn the propane into liquid plastic. And then we take that liquid plastic and we turn that into plastic bars. I think this has actually happened a lot quicker than the last time I've ever tried it. Right, and there we go. We just about have ourselves a belt of plastic. It's not as much as I would like, but we can certainly start dragging this down to the bus. I'm just going to plough through all of this stuff. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up tearing it all up soon. If there's anything that does need to stay around here for the time, you know, at any point, I'll just underground belt this stuff and we'll tidy it up in the future. But for now, let's get this plastic on the bus. Right, is this where it will be joining in? It is. But I do have plans for 2 belts of it, so I'm gearing up for that. As mad as that may be. Right, what do we have here? This is tungsten and zinc. So I want to just re-establish that. I don't know why this hasn't got anything on it. Tungsten plate there. What are you? You're plastic. Okay. Kind of re-establishing things in really fucking weird places. But things are kind of remaining in place as far as kind of bus placement goes. Which is alright. Let's belt brush this all the way down. If we weren't going to run out of belts. Well, there you have it. Kind of 2 belts of plastic. Oh yeah, that's really worn down to a trickle now. We should check the overflow on, or the backlog on the tanks, because I'm probably going to have to set up some sort of either additional storage or overflow. What are you? Oh, silicon ore. Oh, right, these things, like, brief little bit of production because the belt's moved, like, half an inch. But we have some production. That's the important thing. We have got quite a stock, or nearly half full on residual gas. Lots of ethane. We're full on gas condensates already, so let's check to see what those are used for. Gas condensates, there we are. Okay, it is used in advanced heavy gas fractioning for making, or for getting butane out of this. Okay. It gives much more of a bonus of producing methane and naphtha, which I think, if I remember from other people's playthroughs that I've watched, is another thing that you can use to make plastic. Maybe. Anyway, or advanced cracking, which requires gas condensates, thermal water, and carbon monoxide, and produces coke, naphtha, and methane. Lots of ways to get methane in this. And then there's also oil and condensates refining. Okay, crude oil and gas condensates will produce oil residuals, base mineral oil, fuel oil, and naphtha. Okay, so for the time being, I don't know if there's anything I can use it for, so I'm gonna plug in an overflow valve and a flare stack. And anything that is like not needed, any overflow that's there, anything is, I think it works out as anything over 80%, it will just burn off. So really get this thing looking like some sort of refinery. But that will keep things moving a little bit. Some of these other ones we might have to do the same, just because I don't know when I'm going to get around to using some of the rest of this stuff. There we go, we're starting to see a trickle of plastic again. Yeah, this is all going to be a very stop-and-start system for the time being. And we're not actually pulling that much natural gas out of the ground anyway. I don't know, I kind of like this. It reminds me a little of, is it SimCity? You know, when you go from, like, coal power plants to gas power plants and stuff. I don't know, I always like that transition, for some reason. I always preferred to have my cities running on gas power plants rather than coal. It's probably the reduced pollution. Probably. You know, pollution at the moment is not a problem, which is alright. But there we go, that is a brief foray into the world of Petrochem, and, oh, has what I think was going to happen happened? I reckon it probably has. I think the copper is completely backed up on the ore crushing. Or the sorting. Yep, that's a very full silo. So... oh, whoops. Goodbye. Let's replace you. Most definitely not the most efficient way of dealing with things, but it's how I have chosen to go about doing it. So now that we've got plastic on the bus, we need to start looking into the other things that we're going to need to get the Tier 3 science, the Science Pack 3s, the blue science. So let's have a look to see what we need to find. There's transistors, that's what we're looking for. More plastics. Oh right, that's the vanilla plastics logo, but that gives us access to making synthetic wood and plastic pipes. We don't need that, though. We do need... well, we do need that. We need that for researching advanced electronics, but we don't need any of the stuff that provides just yet. So I guess we better start at the beginning with the chemical and processing and electrolysis. Electrolysis 2, chemical processing 2, silicon processing. Let's begin at the beginning. Obviously. Oh, we are getting close. We've got 2 more bits of research to do. Silicon processing, and then transistors. And then we have all of the research necessary to at least guide us in the direction of getting Science Pack 3s created. Oh, here it comes. We're nearly there. Ta-da! Fantastic. Right. I had to do a little bit of research in the middle of all that. I needed to get water treatment, just so I could build clarifiers. These do the same job as flare stacks, but for liquids, as opposed to gases. These burn off any gas type of material. These will void any kind of liquid. So they're here. That's there as kind of a kind of system to just take care of any overflow of sulfuric wastewater. But I've also set up additional storage for it, just so that we've got extra, because we will want that. But now we have access to Science Pack 3s, and these are a little different to the way I went over all the differences with the electronic circuit boards. But yes, we do need bronze plates and we need batteries, which have also had their icon changed in a recent update, which is Nice, they do look rather neat now. How do we make batteries? Do I have those? I mean, I should have those available to produce because they're an intermediate product that would be part of the research needed for making the science packs, surely. It's there. Locked behind sulfur processing. Okay, we're going to need that as well. But we have plastic set up. We need to now set up smelting for bronze plate, which is not going to be too difficult. That is copper and nickel, if I remember correctly. I don't quite remember, but I will need to research the smelting of that as well. Advanced nickel smelting, will that give me access to bronze? I think it's nickel? Yes. Copper ingot and tin ingot. That's the one I need. Okay, let's get advanced bronze smelting. And then we should have everything we need. Engine units are no problem. We can produce those already. That's fine. The electronic circuit boards are going to be a ball ache. Bronze plate is going to be no problem. And batteries, now that we've got them researched, let's see what it takes to make them. If I can find them. Wherever the fuck they are. Oh yeah, it was locked behind sulfur processing, wasn't it? It takes a plastic bar, lead plate, and sulfuric acid. Okay, more of an excuse to get sulfuric acid and keep the sulfuric wastewater that we're producing through this system. But I'm all out of time for this episode. This has been an absolute headache, and it's only going to get worse from here. So I'm going to wrap this episode up here and just say thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the playlist on the channel for more Let's Plays on metal covers, and give this video a like or a comment just to leave your thoughts. And if you wish to join the ever-growing ranks of the Order of the Shield, subscribe on YouTube, chuck me a follow over on Twitch, or maybe even consider checking out my Patreon and becoming an officer within the ranks. But thank you again for watching this video, and I will catch you all very, very soon. This is Captain Meatshield, signing off. Jesus Christ, okay. Hi. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Sir Flappy McNugget.